Ladies and gentlemen, this is the chicken doctor himself. Again, I received many questions about the brooder management and setup. And today I'm going to talk about the brooder. First of all, farmers must understand what a brooder is. A brooder is the first house, or the place where birds spend their first days of life. From day one, that place where they are kept when they are still too young is what we call a brooder house or a brooder. So a brooder must have all the conditions that keep the birds very comfortable, because the bird is like a baby. Yes, as a chicken doctor, I always advise farmers that to treat the birds like a baby, because a bird is actually a baby. A chick is a baby bird. The way you treat your baby is the way you must treat a chick. Provide warmth, provide the food, provide the drinks. That's what we have to do for these birds. So we have to make sure this environment is very comfortable for the birds. One, we have to make sure we start by making sure a brooder is well covered with either newspapers or what we call brooder papers. And brooder papers are these ones. This is a brooder paper. You see, the litter is below, but the litter was covered by brooder paper. Okay? We don't want these chicks to get access to the litter, because at day one they cannot differentiate between feed and litter. So they will end up eating the litter, and once they eat the litter, they will suffer from a condition called crop impaction, which will make it very hard for them to eat other feed, causing low growth in birds. So that one you must know, always cover your litter with either newspaper or brooder paper. That is finished. Number two, make sure the corners of your brooder are not sharp. Sharp corners are very bad because they cause congestion in the brooder house. So if it was not for this plywood, this corner would be like that, which is very sharp. So this plywood, its work is to make sure there is no congestion. It provides a round form of a corner of a brooder. So all your corners must be rounded. If you can do a round brooder, that's fine, but if you can't, do a rectangular one but with round corners. You can see that corner is round, that corner is round, this corner is round, and also the other corner is round. And that's our brooder with corners very rounded. After that, placement of heat source. For example, these pots. These pots are providing heat for our brooder. So make sure the heat is well distributed, and you can tell when the heat is too much or it's too little. Once the birds are running away from the heat source, for example here, you see that most of the birds are running away. They are concentrating on the other side. It means this side the heat is too much and the other side the heat is less. So there must be a uniform distribution, similar to this, whereby birds are uniformly distributed. That's when you have to know that your heat is uniformly distributed in the house. Another thing you must look at is prevention of external forces like air. You can see how the windows have been blocked. This brooder was set up well that they left some places for air or ammonia escape. But very many brooders are sealed like prisons. That's not right. So for farmers who always sealed completely, you should learn that a brooder must have some places for air exchange or air flow. Don't overseal your brooder, because your birds are going to suffer from conditions caused by excessive ammonia accumulation in the house. When we come to feeders, taking this as an example, these birds are eating on trays, but they put in very little trays. I think you can see very little trays, and once they have very limited access for feed, they're going to have a problem of ununiformity. Birds are not going to be uniform, and if they are not uniform, you're going to get problems. So about the heat, if I leave the heat, when you are putting heat or when you are lighting these charcoal stoves, it's better you do it outside, then you bring it when you have already been through with the process of lighting, because if you don't do it inside, it will produce a lot of carbon monoxide. That is as a result of inadequate combustion of carbon, which is charcoal, causing sometimes issue of carbon monoxide poisoning in the brooder house. So if you don't use trays, you can use feeders like that for chicks, but make sure you have enough. At this stage, every place must have a feeder. Every place must have a feeder so that our birds grow well and uniform. Another issue is the drinkers. Make sure you have as many drinkers as possible and get a professional to guide you. All I will guide you in our next topics, the feeder and drinker requirements vis-a-vis the birds. So make sure it is right for your brooder to be very, very good. Another thing is what you do when your birds reach a brooder house like this. Very many farmers do a mistake of giving birds feed on the first time they reach the house. That's not right. Feed should not come first. Birds find the feed in the house. Birds don't find the feed in the house. Feed find the birds in the house. So for layers, once they reach the house like this, give them water with just amylite and glucose. You can add in Heproso, which is a treatment for the liver, to make the liver very strong and the immunity of the birds to be good for the first 6 hours without feed. If you give feed in the first hours, you are going to create a problem whereby you are going to suffer from constipation, whereby the behind, when you check the bird like this, you will find that the behind is blocked. But these ones were put on amylite, that's why they are not blocked and they are passing out very well. So in the first hours, we are going to make sure these birds are put on amylite and glucose Heproso combination, and we don't put any feed. But after 6 hours, we bring the feed, and you will see birds eating very well, and the digestive system will be well flushed, because the first hours is to make sure the sticky substance in the digestive system are washed out. And birds are given amino acids, the birds are given glucose for energy, so they will be very active. By the time you bring feed, the digestive system will be very fine to do the work. So that should be noted by everyone. For broiler farmers, 3 hours are recommended before giving feed. And after the 3 hours, then we release feed so that birds can grow very well. Hope that is well much noted. That's a mistake that is done by almost all farmers. I have seen this problem in Kenya, I have seen this problem in Uganda and other places. So let us not fall victims of this. Always make sure you don't give feed at the first time. So this brooding paper should not be left to look like this, because once it is like this, then you are predisposing birds to disease. Always change it if the condition is too worse, but after 1 week, it's okay, you can remove it and leave the birds access the litter. That's very fine. Let them access the litter, because now they know how feed tastes, and they are very well aware that feed is like this, litter is like this, so they will not have problems of eating the litter. Okay, that's very okay. Then this water should be changed. Remove this surface water always, even after 2 hours, because chicks will always prefer fresh water, and once you do that, your birds will eat well and will drink well. Then another problem here we get is brooding space. Very many people don't know how to calculate brooding space, but a standard one, if you are preparing a brooder, for every square meter you need 40 chicks. 40 chicks per every square meter. But as they grow, you have to adjust to the standard stocking density of 5 birds per square meter for layers and 10 birds per square meter for broilers. Okay, so once you do that, our birds are going to grow well. Make sure you follow the vaccination program of a supplier of your chick. That's the problem very many people with chicks do. That's a mistake. Never borrow a vaccination program from your friend or from your vet. Always get the vaccination program from the supplier of your chick. And when you do that, your chicks will grow without any problems. So, monitor how active your birds are, monitor the feed intake every day, monitor your weights, monitor your uniformity. I'll teach you how to calculate uniformity and average weight in our coming topics, but make sure your birds grow very well, because once a chick is taken good care of, we are assured of the life of a pullet and we are assured of good production and good growth of a layer bird. Thank you very much for watching. We shall be back with how to take care of a pullet bird. The chicken doctor himself. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you for following me on my Facebook page, which is the Chicken Doctor. And also, thank you very much for being part of my Facebook group. For all farmers, I give advice, black African farmers in South Africa, poultry products and poultry farmers in Uganda, East African poultry farmers, Ultravetis Uganda, followers of Happy Rogers on Facebook, and very many other Facebook groups. Thank you for always following the Chicken Doctor, and also the people on WhatsApp, Poultry Network 1 up to 12, then Gayaza, Wakiso, Masaka, poultry farmers, thank you, and always feel free to ask your questions on +256 779 515350 or +256 704 596796. You put your question to the Chicken Doctor and we'll make a video to teach also others, which will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I remain the Chicken Doctor himself. That is how you can set a brooder. For any other questions about brooders, put on those numbers or our pages. We shall come back and handle. Thank you very much.